Hi guys, it's Stacey here from forexcellence.trade and tycoonfactory.com. So I wanted to make a quick video today just talking you through the importance of journaling in your forex trading and what my journal includes. So this is my journal template. I fill out one of these for every single trade I do. The idea behind it is that if it's a winning trade, it kind of reaffirms that it was a good potential trade to take. If it was a losing trade, it allows me to get a little bit more data about what went wrong, how I could potentially improve that, and help me not to make the same mistakes again. So it's a really, really useful exercise. So one of the things that I think is really important in your trading is to make sure that you treat it like a business. So this, although it is a bit of a chore, is well worthwhile doing, and I kind of look at it as the paperwork that I have to do at the end of the day. So just to give you an idea of how I fill this in, under the pair I would put the pair. So if I was trading NZD/JPY, that is what I would type in there. I'm then looking if it is a continuation or a reversal on the 15-minute. Now, this is obviously going to vary dependent on your strategy. So sometimes I will trade continuation trades, so the ones that are already in the direction of the trend on the 15-minute chart, or sometimes I will wait for a break of structure and trade the reversal trade. So basically what I'm doing in there is just giving myself a note so I know which way the trade was going. So if I put continuation in there, now that might not be something that is viable for your particular strategy, so that might be something that you don't include in there, but I do find it's useful to help me really assess which trades work best and give me a better idea of the kinds of setups that I should be looking for. I then have the other confirmation section. So these would be dependent on your particular strategy. These are some of the things I use. I don't have to have all of them for every trade, but they are things that I do find useful. And I like to make a note of which ones were present in a setup so that I can see, okay, if I have a certain number of losing trades that didn't have one of these in, it gives me a better insight into which setups are going to work best for me. So for example, I have the MA cross pattern. So I'm talking about a harmonic pattern, or perhaps a candle pattern or something along those lines, perhaps even a head and shoulders pattern, something like that. The Fibonacci tool, I did a video on fibs recently, and I kind of looked for the reversal in the 61.8 to the 78, and then whether it is with the higher time frame trend. So you can see I trade on the 15 minutes, but is it against or with the higher time frame trend? And I look generally on the 4-hour for that. So I would just delete these as appropriate so that I know which ones of those were included in the setup. Like I say, for your particular strategy, you may change these around. I then have the entry price, which is simply the price that I enter the trade at. So if I was in the NZD/JPY, it might be at 77.00 and 5 micropips, and then the stop loss. So I'll put this in pips form. When I work out my stop loss, I tend to take the stop loss that I'm going to use and then add on the spread as well. So for example, if my stop loss that I wanted to place it behind the previous high or the previous low was 16 pips and the spread at the time was 2 pips, my stop loss would be 18 pips. I then put the lot size that I'm working with in there. So for example, 0.10, the risk percentage. Now I have a couple of accounts. This particular account that I'm trading on this public forum, I'm risking 5% per trade. So I'll put that in there. Mindset. This seems like a strange one because it's obviously very variable depending on your own mood. But I think it's really, really important to put in there so you can see, okay, if I was having a bad day, has that accumulated to more losses? Do I find that if I'm in a certain frame of mind, like a nervous or a fearful frame of mind, that actually contributes to losing trades as well? So it's very useful to put in there. So I may put great mindset if I'm having a good day. If I'm kind of nervous because I had a losing day the day before, I would put that in there. Whatever I'm feeling as I go into the trade is what I would place in there. Exit reason could be hit target. It could be that you had a combination of trade that collectively hit a certain number, so you decided to close down. There could be various reasons. It could be hit the stop loss. It could be that you saw it reversing and you didn't think that it was going to get to target, so you decided to close it early. Whatever your exit reason is, place that in there, and then your result as well. So you can put that in pips, you could put it in monetary gain, or you could put it into risk reward ratio. I usually use a risk reward. So if I got a 1 to 2 risk reward on there, I will place paste that in there. You can then see here I've got an area for before and after images. So generally what I would do in order to insert that is to come over here to a chart, and then normally I would have my markings on here. So let's say that I've got into this trade here, and I would draw an entry line and my exit lines that had an idea of what the trade looked like. And then just come over and use the snipping tool. And if you're not posh enough to have the snipping tool, I've only recently got this, then you can utilize the print screen and then paste it into Paint and just crop it from there. But the snipping tool allows you just to create a section like that, and then you can just click File, Save As, save it as an image in your documents, and then you can obviously just come over to here and insert that into the file here. So you might think, well, why would I go ahead and do all this? Is it really necessary? It seems like overkill. The truth of the matter is that yes, it's a chore, yes, it's a pain in the butt, but genuinely it makes a massive difference, and it is huge for really dialing in and finding out kind of where your weak spots are, whether or not you kind of had anything, you know, that you could have done differently. So the most important section in here that I haven't covered yet is the errors and notes section. So in here, I would write in any errors on entry. Most of my errors tend to come with exits, not entries. So I would generally write in there that the entry was good. If I did make a mistake in the entry, obviously I would put it on there. I'd also put notes about the trade. So for example, if I had opened it collectively with other pairs, if I found that, you know, my mindset affected the trade, I closed it out too early, it could have run a lot further. Any of the notes like that, I'll put those in there, and that's probably the most useful section on here. I actually print these out because I like to have a paper-based file of the journals. You may decide to keep them on a digital format, which is absolutely fine. But I do think that it's very, very useful for you to identify your weak spots, start and work on those, and really, really make a difference to treat your trading like a business and make it work for you. So I hope that's been helpful, guys. I hope you guys really do start and utilize these trading journals. I think they're going to be super beneficial for you. So feel free to create your own from this format. Obviously, your confirmations and things might be slightly different in you. There might be different areas that you want to add in there or take out of there. But I think you'll find that it's something that makes a massive difference to your trading. I used to do this very consistently about a year ago, and then I stopped for a while. And it wasn't until I started doing it again that I realized the actual value in it, and that my win rate increased a lot more then. So it was really, really useful. So definitely get onto this. It's something that I think every trader should be doing, particularly if it's something that you want to do as a business. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you in another video.